Welcome to the Crimson Circle Connection Center, again, here in Louisville, Colorado. We're so glad that you could be here to join us for, this is the last segment of the Emergence series.
Actually, it is. It's Shroud 11 of the Emergence series, and it's kind of weird.
Very weird.
It's weird because, well, first,
'Cause
all this
we
is
are.
weird.
We
I mean,
are.
everything is weird. That goes without saying. But it's Shroud 11, but it was already done. I mean, this is kind of like one of those time-space weirdo things, but
Wait, and whose fault is that?
it's Adamus.
And
no,
who
we
channels
already,
Adamus?
We already did Shroud 11 down in Santa Fe. Was that 2 weeks ago, I think? 2 weekends or three?
Three.
He did the channels there, and then he announced that those were Shroud 11. So I'm kind of off duty today. I mean,
Is that what you think?
yeah, and somebody mentioned when I was talking about it before that I shouldn't get paid for today because I'm not channeling, but
What
kind
does
of
paid,
off,
don't even go there.
kind of off duty today, and it's kind of nice because I get to relax a little bit more. But as the music was playing, the Majestic Land, kind of our theme music, I was just feeling into everybody, and I could feel Adamus is kind of sad. Oh, no, really. I mean, he was like, oh, yeah, poor Adamus. He's gotten so used to being with us every month, and of course, all the times in between. But he was like, oh, he said he's going to be here today.
That was Adamus going, oh, like a pussy?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
He's not usually like
It was
that.
the sadness of an ascended master, darling.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
will pay for
but
that
that's so
later.
uncommon.
No, he really enjoys doing the shouts, doing the kind of the provocative, plus the
Is
profound.
that the part he misses?
Yeah, no, he does, and going into the audience. So I don't know, maybe we should just pretend today, and let's not. Anyway, welcome everybody, and for those listening online, we've got it's kind of a iffy day here in Colorado. We may get a little rain this afternoon. It's not going to stop us from having our annual summer party. Got a smaller group than usual here.
We do?
I think everybody, I think a lot of them were down in Santa Fe or, just, I don't know, doing
It's
summer
also the
things.
4th of July weekend. A lot of people are off on family vacations.
That's true.
It's one of the. It is the biggest.
For those
the
Chamber
biggest
that
ever.
still have family, yes, all 7 of them, they're on vacation.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do have a good group here in the studio audience today. If we get a shot of everybody, that means you have to open your eyes and wake up. Yeah.
Well, and I think you'd be surprised. I bet at least half the people here were at Santa Fe.
How many here were in Santa Fe?
See,
Oh yeah,
more
yeah,
than
at
half.
least, yeah. That was a
Yeah.
great gathering.
Yeah.
We got some photos to show today of that.
Right.
But anyway, Shout 11, it's the last one. For those of you who aren't familiar with the way it went, there was 2 main channels in Santa Fe. One at the very opening, which was kind of strange because normally you want to start building the energies during a 2-day workshop like that, but that went really deep right away. And at the end of the very first session, everybody was just kind of walking around a little bit like zombies. And then there wasn't any other channel until the very end, the last session. I did not know this in advance. And Linda, the whole time we were down there, who are you going to channel? When are you going to bring them in? What are the sessions like? I don't know. They won't tell me. And Adamus didn't. I mean, I was wondering, am I going to be channeling Sam or Madame Blavatsky or God knows, El Moya or whoever? And
I figured you were hiding that.
they wouldn't tell me until right before we did each session, and they were amazing. We're going to play those today. The first session, by the time we cut out the peripheral stuff, was about 40 minutes. The second, we'll take not a break, but you and I will come back on stage afterwards, say a few words, and then go into the second part. That's about 55 minutes. So if you're here in the studio, do feel free to run to the restroom. If you're at home, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter.
I think Santa Fe was a huge setup. It really felt like Adamus was setting it up, that he wanted an incredibly deep and focused audience for the message that he was going to deliver that was setting a forward-going standard. And And it seemed that he said it with with the opening, and then completed it with the closing.
Yeah.
And it was deliberate. He didn't just, he wanted it to go to a bigger, extremely focused audience. When we asked how many people were in Keehawk, it was, oh my gosh, it was at least 2/3 the audience had raised their hand.
Yeah.
So I think it was a deliberate move, and it's part of where he's telling us that he's taking us into this new space, this new expansion, and I believe that that's what he was doing with this emergence.
It was a turning point. I really felt
Absolutely. An
in so many
expansion.
ways, not just the messages with Adamus, but for the people there, for what we're doing as Shambra.
What he told us.
It just really felt like a turning point.
It was sweet.
What Tobias always called the point of separation.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was
We had
almost like a
we had good
graduation
time.
in a way.
Yeah, it was. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and we don't normally do a lot of the big group gatherings. We much prefer the smaller size, but once in a while, like Bled last year, Santa Fe this year, some of the other big ones, they're always fun. I mean, it's always a blast, and we see so many people who we
And the
haven't
Shambra
seen.
connect with each other,
Oh,
too.
yeah, a lot
So
of
it's very sweet.
connections, a lot of deep connections, a lot of romantic connections. There are. How many of you here have met your partner through Shambra? They reluctantly raise their hands, and reluctantly, there's a couple in the back there too. So yeah, okay.
All right.
So anyway, glad that you're here today, listening in online. We've got some stuff to talk about here. Linda, who's
Got
here from?
a few out-of-towners, and you're going to forgive me for not doing your name perfect, but you are. Okay.
That's a good way of putting it.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. From Switzerland, Patricia Eberlin. There, yay. Let's
Good to
house
see
lights
you.
up. Welcome, Patricia.
Yeah, good to see you again.
And Uli, our dear friend from Germany. Thank you. Been around forever, Uli. We love you. We love all of you. I'm just trying to be nice. Hisako from Japan.
All right, Hisako.
Yes. She's the translator for Keehawk in Japanese.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, Irene Ong from California. Where are you? There.
Oh.
Nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Isn't it good that you're here in Colorado rather than California? Things are kind of getting shaken up down there.
Yeah, and it's not
Oh,
stopping.
Yeah.
No.
There are a couple big earthquakes in the last couple days. Well, are you in Southern California? Oh, so you don't care. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, when the earthquake thing started, a couple hours later, Doug is from the LA area. I called Dr. Doug Davies up. I said, Doug, okay, how's it going with the earthquake thing? He goes, what? It's no big deal. It's like, oh.
They're used to
And
it.
then you see the pictures and all the stuff
Yeah.
falling off the shelves and everything shaking. No big deal.
They're used to it.
All right. Okay, then Valerie from Oregon.
Hey, Valerie.
Nice to see you, Valerie.
Good to see you.
Mary Beth Shuan from Oregon
Mary Beth.
also. Okay, I know I can't say this right because I get corrected no matter how I say it. Jorge, George, which is it?
George.
See, I got it. Yeah, Jorge, I knew it. Thank you. From Utah. Thank you for being here. And then Missy Biggers from Chapel Hills. Where are you, Missy?
Hi, Missy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I heard, talking to some of the Shambra down in Santa Fe, I heard some people said, oh, I'd love to go to one of the shouts in Colorado, but, and I said, well, why don't you? It's pretty easy. I said, I don't want to get the microphone. No, serious, and they were serious. They were petrified. I don't want to get the microphone. So I said, I tell you what.
You can pay me.
Linda, yeah. Linda is approachable, if you know what I mean. No, really, truly, if you ever come here, for those listening online, you ever come here and you don't want to get the microphone, don't mention it to Linda, because that means you're going to...
No, wait. And I'm going to say something about this, and I want everybody to feel into this. I've been a school teacher. I've done a lot of training. And the bottom line is, I don't know why anybody worries about getting the microphone, because of anything I've ever worked with, It doesn't matter what the hell your answer is. Adamus is going to say you're wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's easy.
Yeah, yeah.
If a lot of
Yeah.
people got it right, then you got it wrong. Then I'd feel bad. But knowing you can never get it right, what are you worried about?
Once in a while, once in a great while, maybe twice it's happened. No, somebody he loves the answer, but yeah, it's a huge
Never.
setup. And if I got the microphone, it'd be like, Adamus, you tell me, because you got the answer, and I'm just waiting for your enlightened answer to come my way. I would defer. And then he'd rip me apart, and then I'd be sent to the bathroom. I didn't say I didn't know. I said I'm waiting for the answer to be realized.
And you think he would
Yeah.
would settle for that?
I don't want to give anybody too many ideas, but he likes when he gets a little bit of sass back. Oh, geez, don't he does? He likes a little bit of the kind of the rebel spirit. So no, he doesn't mind. Yeah. So is that everybody from out of town?
This is everybody that's admitting to it.
Admitted to it. So if you're listening in online, you want to come to a
There's
shout.
a couple newbies here.
Oh, okay.
This guy here for sure is a newbie. This one. Yeah.
He's like, who, me?
Nice to
Oh,
meet
wait.
you. What's your name, sir?
Gavin,
Thank you.
Gavin. Good. Where are you from, Gavin?
originally from California.
Yeah.
I live in Fort Collins right now.
Oh, yeah. Nice place. Yeah. So who else, Linda?
I'm,
Who else
I'm-
are you going to embarrass today? Anybody here for the first time ever other than Gavin? Anybody first time ever? Wow. At
oh,
the
li-
shout?
oh,
Wow.
For, they've been to events, but not to the shout.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. No microphone today.
You're smart. So
Yeah.
we'll have to advertise that once in a while. No microphone
No
today.
mic. Yeah. Oh, it's a no
Oh,
mic day.
right.
Oh, yeah.
You
and then it'll
guys.
fill up. People will be out the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
cool.
And then Adamus will go, no, just kidding. You get the mic. Okay.
Okay.
We have a lot to cover.
We do.
So let's get
Let's
into it.
keep moving, buddy.
What else do we know? Oh, yeah.
That's spooky.
Yeah. Shout 10 of the Emergence series last month. And again, I always love the recaps because I think we all kind of forget. And this is a great way to remember. So
I
let's
think we're
play it.
allowed to forget. Didn't he say it's okay, just forget it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he did. He did.
Forget the whole thing.
Yeah, just forget it.
Let's see what we did last month.
You got it. Forget it.
I was giving a lecture this morning. It was called by some of the other ascended masters who are working with human groups. He said, no, Adamus, we have to know before you go down there. We have to know, how are you doing this? We're still struggling with our groups. And here you are, breezing off into the beyond with Shambhala all around the world. What are you doing? So I said, it's quite simple. It's very, very simple. You have spiritual teachers, most who are full of a lot of macchio. You have spiritual beings, humans, who are kind of lost. And they're trying to break through. They're trying to be more spiritual. They're trying to be enlightened or ascend, or actually the majority of them just want to be a little richer and a little healthier. But I said, the problem is that you're doing it with your students, and they're doing it from within the mind, and it doesn't work. And they said, how do you go beyond the mind? How do you do this from beyond the mind? Because everything for the human is within the mind. I said, it's a lot of distraction. It requires a lot of distraction. It requires a tremendous amount of commitment from every Shambhala who's in this kind of a transformation. And it requires a lot of laughing. And it requires that we have some mechanisms, which we are going to explore here today, that get us out there to deal with what's in here. And I said, but I've got it even tougher than any of the rest of you saints up here. I've got it tougher because I'm dealing with the very group that put us in here. It's particularly difficult, but we're going to take that energy, or that we're going to take that mindset, so to speak, and we're going to use that very thing to go beyond. And there was another hush that fell over the crowd. And they said, but isn't that enough to drive one crazy? And I said, absolutely. I said, my chambre right now, that's what they're going through. They're going to forget everything. They're not going to be able to put the pieces together like they have been in the past. Their logic isn't going to work so well anymore. And I said, and that's exactly what we're doing. But I said, I'm going to sum it all up. You're crazy until you're not. You're crazy until you're not. That's it. And that's what you're all going through here right now. You're crazy until you're not. It's about now breaking free, emerging from that. You're crazy until you're not. Meaning, once you take a deep breath and you realize, hey, this isn't crazy. This is more real, more natural. This is more freedom than anything else. You're not crazy. You're more real, you're more sensual, you're more multidimensional, you're more authentic than any of the ones who have ever called you crazy. No, you're pioneers. You're ventures out into the other realms. You're the ones who are willing to take on new. I've talked for a long time about the I am is the consciousness, the awareness. I am, I exist. The master is the one who brings all the experiences to wisdom. Cleans up, is the one at the backside of the elephant parade, cleaning up all the stuff, composting it, getting it back to the basics. That's the master. The human is the one who experiences new. Crazy is when you're not doing new. When you, the human, are held back, you're not into new. You're repeating old patterns. That will drive you crazy. So last month we talked about these headbands, that banging noise. How many heard that even after the shout? The bang, bang in the mind. It's always there, by the way. It's always there, whether you think it is or not. It's there, you've just tuned out of it. It's always there. For a little while, we'll get over that. So we had this rather interesting big talk last month and said, okay, you were the ones who kind of started this whole headband thing, fashion of the time, let's conform, let's actually wear these things. So you're the ones that have to get out of it first. That had a big impact last month, a big impact. Okay, now, question of the day, Chamber Wisdom question of the day. We've been talking a lot about the mind and the brain. What are the vulnerabilities, the openings, the crack in the egg? What is it?
The best way I can get out of mine is to go to nothingness.
The first thing that came up was the energies from other people.
There's just this knowing that you just know it, and you
Yes.
don't know what you know, but you know that you know.
I think the mind only has the past as its point of reference.
Falling asleep works for me.
There is this crack in the egg, and that's what we're going to be exploring. And you'll know that you're still within, as long as there's that longing. You'll know when you've gone beyond, when that longing is fulfilled, when there is pure knowingness. So before we go any further, though, I have to ask another question that all ties into this. What was the beauty, the benefit of the headbands, of the mind?
Well, there was more social, people were more social.
Shared perception.
Going into limitation.
Functioning in the physical.
Maybe going into mass consciousness.
But I'm going to give you a clue. If we experiment with oneness and commonality, we all kind of look the same, act the same, talk the same. What do you really learn from that? One big thing starts with an S. Sovereignty. So one of the great big gifts of all of this, the headband stuff, being in the mind, commonality, mass consciousness, we are one, not, all of that is, it was a great way to help you eventually realize your sovereignty. That was the beauty. And it's taken from Atlantis till now to really even begin understanding it. That's the gift in the house of Shambhala, one of many gifts, but the gift you're going to be giving back to this planet. Sovereignty. I am that I am. Now, feel into that for a moment. With the headbands and mass consciousness and all the rest of that, and you start to realize your sovereignty, your oneness within you, your uniqueness, your soul. Imagine now your experience in all this. Imagine how the I am is rejoicing. It now knows something, has the wisdom of something it never really knew before. Sovereignty. I exist. I am a sovereign being. I am God also. Oh, now I remember.
He keeps
Doesn't
going.
it seem like it was a long time ago?
It was.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
was.
that long ago. It was June.
He was referring all the way back to May, for God's sake.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but it seemed like a long, long time ago. Anyway, let's take a look at recent events. June, we were down in Santa Fe, as we mentioned. It was an amazing celebration
It truly
all the
was.
way around. I love Santa Fe. I love that whole area.
Yeah, I do too.
The shops down there were incredible.
Well, it's charming. Well, yes, you did kind of make out like a bandit,
I did. Yeah.
but I did too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. But we had Shambhala from, I think it was 27 different countries that
Yeah.
were participating in the event down there.
It's
And
very sweet.
yeah, and it was a little different than a lot of our larger annual gatherings. This was to celebrate 10 years with Adamus. And gosh, we had
Very different flavor.
a different flavor, yeah. But we had a lot of fun with it. There was a couple of great presentations. We're going to show the photos in just a moment. There was great music with Yoham. Rude Awakening was there. What an impressive job that they're doing with that film. Really, it's about us. And then the recaps that Gene put together, 10 years with Adamus recap, which is going to be available pretty soon on YouTube. And it just went through the years. It was kind of a little amazing and scary to watch all at the same time. It's like,
What was
wow.
the scary part, Jeff?
Seeing myself from 10 years ago, seeing what this job has done to me, and seeing how we've come from, when it started, it was back at the Coke Creek Community Center, and seeing how far we've come just with everything, technology and the beautiful place we have here. And as a matter of fact, if you don't mind, we do have a special guest here today. Going back to the Coal Creek holidays.
Yes, we do.
Dear Susie Schemmel, if we get the lights on, get the house lights on for a moment. It's Susie Schemmel. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, it's good to see you here today.
Truly a treat.
And
Thank you.
It's so funny because a lot of Shambhala come in from out of town, out of the country, and one of the things they do, one of their pilgrimages, is to go back to Coal
The
Creek
hall.
Hall, to the
Yeah,
hall.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they get permission from Susie. Susie gives them the tour. Here's where Tobias used to sit, and here's where John did all of his stuff at the
Here's
desk.
that bathroom place he used to do the weird
Right,
stuff.
right. And here's the kitchen where Sandra would make all that noise right during the shout, and it's like, it was kind of walking down. true, huh?
It is
Walking
true.
down memory lane. So the 10-year thing was amazing. Then we did something that was really stupid, you know. And stupid to me is when you take a look at you're going to do something, you want to do something, you take a look at the risk and the reward, and you know, you say, "I'd like to do this, but in the long run, is the risk too high? Is it even worth it?" Oh, we usually do it anyway. And then later we're like, "Whew, boy, it kind of all worked out." So we did this roast with Adamus, and I got to admit, it was my idea. And the
Completely
staff,
your
The
idea.
staff wasn't all that excited about it. I didn't understand. And I thought, how fun. And
We
for those
didn't
of you-
understand. We understood.
For those of you who aren't familiar with a roast, it's an American style kind of acknowledgement of somebody. It's usually pretty irreverent. Sometimes it gets a little nasty. It's supposed to be humorous, but
It can be rude.
It can be a little rough at times. So we decided to do it anyway. And well, I did, and the staff kept on going, "Don't do it, don't do it." We did it, and it turned out really well.
Pretty good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean, it was funny.
It was funny.
Sacrilegious. It was fun to do.
I felt bad for some of the chambre from out of the U.S. that just did not
They did not
understand American
understand.
humor.
Pardon? Oh, you have roasts in Europe? Oh, really?
Oh, I wish somebody had told us that.
Oh, then we'd have gone even further.
Yeah. Oh, thank God we didn't know.
Who do you roast? Like Merkel or somebody like that? Well, we'd heard from a lot of Europeans, you know, we don't know what a roast is. Maybe they're pulling our legs, roasting us. But we did it. It was funny. We had 4 great roasters. We had Tad Tandler, who's here today, Dr. Doug Davies, Tanya Mathur, and
George Andrade.
Jorge Andrada. And then Kathumi at the very end.
And Kathumi was the snapshot of.
Oh, I was so worried
Irreverence.
about that. Oh my gosh.
did a
Everybody
good
else
job.
had really prepared, done a good job. I didn't know anything except Kathumi was going to do a shtick about being Adamus's personal consultant or whatever, but it was
Coach.
It
His
worked
personal
out.
coach.
It worked out. It was funny. Anyway, we're going to
Okay,
take a
let's
look
go.
at just some still photos, a little bit of video maybe, or kind of a quick recap
Kind of Faces of
the
Chambord,
Santa.
right?
Yeah, kind of Faces of Chambord from Santa Fe.
Okay,
You guys
here we
ready?
go.
Let's do it.
Quite a cast of characters.
Quite a cast, and it was so much fun. A grand couple of days. I do want to acknowledge, particular, all the support group that was down there, the staff and the
did
technical
incredible
staff,
job.
headed by Peter Orlando. They had this studio torn apart so they could take everything down there in a truck, reset up.
Yeah, it was a plain ballroom. They had to set it up into
Yeah.
a stage and a place where they could record. So it was a significant setup.
Oh, significant, and then come back and redo everything here. So amazing job, and all the staff who helped down there. It was really a great event.
Truly
It was one
wonderful.
of those historic events. Anyway, all the video recordings of everything that was there are going to be available on July 22nd. There is messages from Adamus, and he starts out each channel, but then turns it over to Merlin. And there's that Kathumi roast section in there. That's all Kathumi got this year, about 12 minutes, because you timed everything, remember?
You told me to.
I know.
Then I get in trouble for timing.
And the Adamus roast and so much more. Gene Tinder's presentation, Birgit Junker's presentation, everything is in there. And we'll have that available July 22nd. But a word of caution. A lot of it, and it's only $33 for the full 2 days of all the videos. But a couple things are actually going to be free of charge, because today is the Emergence Series 11 with both channels. Obviously, that's free of charge. And then the 10 Years with Adamus video recap was so good. We want to put it on YouTube and on the Crimson Circle website. If anybody wants to take somebody new, for instance, wants to take a look at, so what you guys are about, there's a 10-year
Is that what you would show somebody that doesn't know us?
No, the review is really good. It's the face-to-face with Adamus we're not going to put out for the public.
Okay.
That's the interaction that Adamus does every month. If somebody just stumbled into that, they really wouldn't get it, and they'd think we're really strange. So anyway, that's going to be available July 22nd, $33 early bird price. You get everything. But a couple of things are already free. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Let's kind of breeze through these. I think most
Well,
of our...
wait a minute. There's this phenomenon going on, and I'm so sorry. We're going to mention the upcoming events, but we don't have very much to say because they're almost all sold
Almost
out,
all sold
all the
out.
way through April next year.
Yeah, that's actually good news.
High-class
But there's some
problem.
stuff in there, like in August, by the way, for our Shout in August, it's Adamus's 310th birthday, and boy, does he look good for being 310. We're here at the studio for that Shout. We're going to have party favors, some decorations, big old birthday cake for Adamus.
No, I'm saying don't give it all away. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And what else were we going to do? Oh, yeah. So if you're going to be here in honor of Adamus's birthday, we're going to ask everybody to, if you want, to design, buy, make up, or whatever, a headband. And there'll be a $100 cash prize for the best headband. And then we're all going to take them off afterwards and, I don't know, do something with them.
Why would you want to? Now, I supposedly have a history that didn't include that.
Yes.
Why in the hell would you want to play that game?
You make fun.
Why?
You actually make fun of your hardships that you
That's
had
like
along the way.
making fun of having your fingernails torn out from your fingers.
Sure. Okay. But no. Once you're beyond something, then you can look back and laugh at it, right? So
you want me to
no
go through the
longer are
list?
we suffering with the headbands. We can laugh at them. We're going to make our own comical headbands. Oh, wait till you see mine. It's just something to do to honor like Adamus'
You're going to take the
birthday.
band off your underwear and make that your band?
Damn it! No, I can't do that anymore. It's going to say "Fruit of the Loom," Anyway, that's in August. So if you're inclined,
Did I guess right?
If you're inclined to, you're gonna spend hours, maybe weeks, making up yours. It's going to be the headband removal contest.
Fine.
Boy, you know how to mess up a good party.
Boy.
Anyway, September, there's no Shout. We're going to be in Norway. Can't wait for that. That's going to be a fun event. So if you show up here in September, you'll be on your own. Sorry about that.
You can bench. You can bench.
Yeah. And speaking of that, in Norway for the Master's Code workshop we've never done yet.
Yeah.
It's sold out, so I'm going to move on. Then we go down to Rust, Austria, one of our favorite places. It's wine harvest season. You and I ride bikes,
What's your
forever
point?
and ever. the point is, it's sold out. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Johan coming in for the music, and
Our wait list is almost as big as the attendee list.
I know. And also, while we're
this
there,
one
we're going to
too.
be doing channeling workshop. It's sold out. Sorry about that. November, we are back at Villa Amio. We're going to be doing the pavilion blessing ceremony. There's still spaces open for that if you just want to fly over for the day, attend the blessing with Kahu Kiloha.
So cool.
And just for an update on the new Shamba Pavilion, that's actually a shot taken the other day. The roof is on, the sides are on, the concrete around the terrace is poured.
I haven't done the stucco yet. You can see the board still.
Yeah, Horace actually went up on the roof of the villa and took that, but Linda and I are going to be there next week and the week after. It's coming along really, really nice. That's
We're
going to be an
excited.
ideal place for doing the workshops.
And broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. November, Energy Works Workshop sold out. Yeah. Then we've got Threshold in Japanese. I had to stop and, was that Chinese or Japanese? And I think we have, I forgot how many spaces, I can't read
Says
that.
7, Jeff.
Oh, but that one you can't see. I'm looking over there. So we have 7 spaces left for that. We're going to be doing it in English, but it would be translated by Hisaku
Hisako.
in Japanese. Okay, after that, December online, we're going to be doing the Sexual Energy School. We do this twice a year online, and we're going to be doing it again in September.
It's our only requirement for some of our live workshops, unless it's a really big one, is that we do ask that you take Sexual Energy School, and that's why we offer it online twice a year to give people access to it. We have teachers that teach it too, but this way anybody anywhere in the world can sign in
And
online.
Villy will be in the booth,
Correct.
as she usually is, doing it in
Correct.
Spanish.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you ever get tired of being in there, Billy? You feel, no, you like it? Okay, good. Thumbs up. Yeah. Did they get the air vent working in there finally so you can breathe? Just kidding. Okay. Next we go into 2020, but I want to...
Vision,
I didn't
2020.
2020, exactly. Clarity, vision.
Yeah, no shit.
I didn't put a slide in here for it, but our annual Christmas party is going to be December 14th, I think. 14th.
Something like that, yeah.
I hate to even be talking about
I
Chris-
know.
Oh, so let's move ahead.
Okay.
January, we've got Pronos 2020. I would be really curious to see where Adamus goes after this year with the dragon. What comes after the dragon?
Where's the update?
Well, it's not live. We're going to film it
Oh, okay.
right after we get back from Hawaii.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, and then but this is live if you're interested in attending. Pronost has gotten to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So,
well, especially with all the crazy crap going on in the world, we're all like waiting with bated breath. They're like, what now?
And I'm not sure if the store sign up is ready for it now, but it will be within a couple days.
Yeah,
so
if it's not already.
if you're interested in attending, always a good time, a great way to start off the year. February, guess what? We're back in. Matter of fact, we're going to be in Hawaii for 3 months in a row.
Oh,
so,
poor us.
Yeah, Energy Works sold out.
Oh, sorry.
Korean Amio Retreat sold out.
sorry.
March, we're still there. We do Threshold. There are spaces available. How many? 13 spaces still
Right.
available. Threshold tends to
Always slower.
always
Everybody
slower.
says, oh, I'm going to do it. And they're like, oh, I got to think about it. Oh, I'm going to do it. Oh, let me
then
see.
you start getting nauseous. Oh,
Yeah.
Want to do it, don't want to do
Oh,
it.
I signed up. What was I thinking?
Anyway, that's March 22nd to the 26th. Still spaces available on that. And this will all be in the new pavilion,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Chambra
Yeah,
Pavilion.
I'm
at,
excited.
Villa Amio. And April, what do we have for April? Oh, Master's Code, that is sold out. Okay. We should maybe just not even go through these slides, but it's kind of fun to remember what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. It's time for Chambra News. Yeah. That's all the good stuff. What? Don't you ever feel like that?
No,
No?
I do not. No,
Okay.
I do not.
Anyway, Chambra News. As usual, if you want to know what's going on, make sure to read the Chambra magazine. We even have to encourage the staff to read it because they're like, well, what's going on? It's in the magazine. Just read it. And
Jeff did a really, really good article about the energy of Shambra. and what it is and what we are, and it's worth reading. Don't hesitate to look at
And
it.
there's a lot of other great articles.
I know there are, but I happen to like that one in particular,
Thank
and
you.
I can say that.
Thank
You've been
you, I
doing this
appreciate it.
magazine for how many years? How many times have I said that?
I don't know how long we've been doing it. It started out with just Michelle just doing a little one-page thing, and then it's evolved into this. And I think this issue is like 52 pages. And it's doing a magazine or newsletter is a great idea, but doing it consistently is really hard. Every month, it's the staff works on it, puts it together. Mark Ritter is the art director. Gene Tinder as the editor, a lot of great articles from Chambord all over the world. So I'm really proud of it. It's award-winning, by the way.
Yeah, and let's talk about the naked truth.
Well, the naked truth, that was just, I don't know, some verbiage I used. Actually, speaking of the naked truth, we got a little, well, we want to explain. The video does a better job than I could possibly do. This goes back to a channel Adamus did in March 2017, I believe, May 2017. The most outrageous thing I ever did in my last lifetime. This is a true story. I got an audience with the Pope. I was very concerned about the upcoming French Revolution. I was concerned with the direction things were going, and the Pope was right in the middle of it. Pope Pius VI, right in the middle. The year was 1783. So I asked for an audience with the Pope. He was torn between supporting the Jesuits and not supporting them. He was more anti-revolution than anything. He was against the common people having their sovereignty. But he was in kind of a bad alignment with the French government at the time. He didn't know it, but they were going to come in and take him down, so to speak. I knew it took everything I could just to get an audience with him. He was a rather difficult, ornery man. But I also knew that I had to be outrageous, because if I just pleaded the case for politics, for country, for church or whatever, it would go on deaf ears, because everybody pleads with the popes and the kings and everybody else. So I knew I had to do something to get his attention. So I was brought into the grand hall where our meeting would take place. I was brought in by his guards, and I knew it would be a while just sitting and waiting before the Pope came in, because that's what popes and bad CEOs do. They keep you waiting for a long time so they get the upper hand. I knew it would be at least an hour and a half wait. So I took a little nap because I could, and I did a little breathing because I knew I had to, and then I took off all my clothes. True story, absolute true story. Took off all my clothes and sat there by myself next to the fire because it was a bit chilly. Sat there totally naked. Suddenly, the big door from the pontiff place opened, and in walked the Pope. It was a moment of possible death. It was a moment of perhaps being thrown in the dungeon. But an interesting thing happened, something so interesting, they wrote books about it, stories about it later. The Pope didn't blink. The Pope didn't say a word. The Pope didn't stare down at my Adamus or anything else. He kept such a straight face, and all of his assistants, his staff, the Pope back then was always had about 20 people around him. None of them blinked. Of course, I was laughing to myself out loud. I was laughing, and I knew, if nothing else, the Pope, in this kind of crazy state, had to listen. Who is this strange man standing there by now, standing there with no clothes on? It was to become the core material for the story, The Emperor's Clothing. And this is a true story. This is a very true story. So that's the story of the Pope and Adamus. It was actually, the story behind it is really quite beautiful. Down in Santa Fe, the night of the music and everything, a very nice gentleman came up and
Jolling.
talked to Linda and said he had something to give us. And Linda came and got me outside. Of course, I was sitting out with a dirt ball smoking, and came inside, and he unraveled this beautiful photograph, this print that he had done. His name is Charling Bertsma from Canada, originally Dutch and now living in Canada. I was so stunned, and Charling, if you're listening to this, it was one of the most unique things that I've seen in a long time.
He's
He
not just a
actually-
photographer, he's a photographic artist. I've never seen anybody that was able to blend their art and their photography in such a stunning way.
I don't
Really
know if you can
amazing.
put it back up on the screen, but I don't have a still shot of it. Can you go to the video and see if you can find it?
And has such a vintage
He
look.
actually staged it, hired the actors, did all the staging and the props, and got the guy to pose nude and everything, and took it just based on that little story Adamus told at a shout. So it was just brilliant. And I mean, if you look at it, it looks like one of the Renaissance painters. His lighting, his composition, and the whole composition with eye movement, you know, all right to Adamus sitting there. It's just absolutely stunning, beautiful.
Really, really gifted.
Yeah, very, very gifted, and he's very much an artistic photographer. So we want to thank him for that. It's on the cover of the Chambre magazine, of course, and we'll have it somewhere on the website also. But
He took a lot of great photos at the event as well. He was
yeah.
so humble and so low key. Dave wasn't able to be there, and Jolling just started taking photos, but you hardly noticed him.
yeah, just incredible. So thank you for the beautiful gift, and it really made my day. I mean, to see something that artistic and creative.
Yeah, photo,
If you
yeah.
look at his website, we'll make sure to publish it. He's got some great samples on there of work he's done.
He's very talented,
Very
and
talented.
he wins awards all the time. He's
So,
that talented.
Charling, thank you from our heart to yours. That was an amazing gift. And
Sweet,
Adamus loved it also.
And it was so cool because he had no expectation, so it was
Yeah.
very sweet.
Yeah. So that was really special.
The naked truth.
Anyway, moving on also from the conference, we do of course, our annual Inspire Consciousness Award. This was the 12th year.
Right.
And this year's winner was announced at the conference, was, of course, Tammy O'Reilly from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. And she was totally surprised.
Totally.
She had no idea. And she kicked me later and said, "You could have told me, and then I could have, maybe dressed a little different." I said, "Tammy, you look beautiful."
That's not the point.
Yeah, look beautiful.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
So she was the award recipient this year. She's done an amazing amount of work for many, many, many years.
She has.
Hosting Crimson Circle events.
Right.
She really was the founder of the New Age spiritual movements up in the Kelowna area, and has done a lot of hosting of films, helping to open up some films there. Done an amazing job. So Tammy, congratulations. And
her family thinks there's something wrong with her because she likes Crimson Circle so much.
so Tammy, thank you once again, and I hope Saul was really impressed.
Well, she reaches out to so many, and I think you see her on Facebook and things
Social media.
and social media. She's just really passionate, and it was undeniable that she'd been doing this for many, many years.
Yeah. So congratulations, Tammy. You deserve it. And just a couple final messages before we go on break. Just to let everybody here in particular know, but actually everybody everywhere, we have some upcoming shouts that are not going to be here at the studio. They're going to be at the new Chambre Pavilion at Villa Amio.
Kona, Hawaii.
Yeah, we're going to be doing them live from there, November 2019, March 2020, and April 2020. We'll be doing it live from Kona. So if you just feel you got to be there, book a flight and come on over. I think we have to limit it to about 45 people, somewhere in there.
Well, we're going to know more once we can really start setting
Once we're
chairs
there
and testing it.
in a couple days, yeah. We're going to have full video production capabilities, kind of like this in a way, maybe not quite as extravagant, but
It's going to be a little more tropical.
a little more tropical. And yeah, yeah. Well, no, but we are going to have good cameras, good lights, and everything. We've really designed the thing well.
We did.
And Peter's coming over in September to set up all the technical equipment, and we'll do the first shout from there in November. So
We're excited.
Yeah, yeah.
We love the energy of the one we did last January. That went really well for us.
And just for those who are coming to some of the events during any of these times, if you're coming to a workshop, make sure you have to set a sign up for the shout separately. So make sure to do that if you're coming over for a workshop. Good. And let's see, other news, just a quick reminder.
Oh, one last thing. Can I say a last thing, Hawaii?
Sure.
Hawaii, for people that are looking into it, there's that direct flight from Denver, but Alaska Air has paired up with Hawaiian Air, and they have some airline partners, so it's really worth it to do some shopping if you're looking for the best price.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great. And just a reminder, I am remembering the master's pause because I have really a hard time remembering these days. I really do. But this is about remembering who you really are, not where you left your car keys. But it's available as a cloud class, and I think it's $25 through August 28th.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. Other than that, we want to very special thanks, and is particularly today, I want to thank all the new angels who just came in. Actually, this is really a beautiful story, but Tammy O'Reilly, the Inspire Consciousness winner, posted something, a really beautiful little thing on Facebook social media yesterday about Crimson Circle Angels. And it was really sweet, and a lot of people replied to it. Since yesterday, 35 people signed up to become angels, so welcome to all the angels. We don't
Thank you.
talk about it much. We don't want any pressure or guilt trips or anything, but to see Shambra and angels talking about the angel
Oh,
program
no,
is
the
so
angels
cool.
came to us. That was what was so sweet. We weren't looking for it. They came to us, and that's why we love and honor it so much. That's why we just did the angel
Webcast last
webcast,
week.
which is probably what triggered some of the
Yeah.
people, even knowing there was such a thing.
So thank you, Tammy, and
Thank you,
welcome to
everyone.
all the new angels who just came in. And that's why Bonnie's not here today. She has a lot of work to do to register and process each one. So Bonnie's back at home doing all that, hopefully watching it online.
So again, thank you all. You make such a difference, and it really matters.
So we're going to take a break here and come back at 2:30 our time. It's about 32 minutes away. We're going to see the Emergence series in 2 parts, videos, and those watching in online, we'll be right back. Those who are here, get your popcorn and your glass of wine, and we'll watch some movies today. And I feel really weird, like I just don't have a
You
responsibility
deal with it.
today.
Well, you can deal with
Deal
it. Take
with
some
it.
good deep breaths. Yeah.
All right. See you in just a bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
I can still hear music. It's coming through the floor. I love the way you love me tonight. Well, how could I refuse it? 'Cause I knew I wanted more. I love the way you love me tonight. So take all your trouble, ooh, all together, yeah, and let it all down, down, down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Went down Virginia. Never thought I'd stay. Love the way you held me tonight.